5 hours in the snow to see their man. These are the Trump true believers.
Whatever he does is okay with you?
It's okay with me. I stand by him because I believe in him, and I know what he'll do is right.
So if he put out hot coals at this rally, would you walk over the hot coals for him?
Absolutely. You put them out right now, I will.
And more of these true believers are adopting an us against the Republican establishment viewpoint.
Do you think the Republican Party is trying to steal the nomination from Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
You all agree with that?
Yes.
Do you think there's a conspiracy to take this away from Donald Trump?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I voted Republican my whole life. I'll follow Trump. Whether he goes independent, third party, I'm voting for him either way.
Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Across the state in La Crosse, a different Trump rally, but the same sentiments.
I think they're trying to pull a fast one.
The Republican Party.
Absolutely.
I think the Republican Party is going to not only going to, they're not going to try, they're going to steal it from him.
If Trump doesn't get the nomination, would you support the Republican nominee?
I wouldn't.
So what would you do?
I would stay home.
Presidential candidates often get the benefit of the doubt from their most loyal supporters. But in rally after rally, it's increasingly evident that nobody cultivates loyalty more successfully than Donald Trump.
I just love Trump, and I don't want anybody else but the Trump. He's my man.
And like the candidate himself, many of them agree that if Donald Trump is mistreated by the Republican Party this election, they'll return the favor.
If they steal it from him, I think he's going to get the 1,237, and if they try any shenanigans to take it, I will leave the Republican Party forever.
Another one of the Trump true believers. Gary Tuckman, CNN, Milwaukee.
Cruz just responded to a salacious tabloid report during a news conference in Wisconsin. He's now accusing Trump of planting the story. All of this after the back and forth attacks over their wives. Take a listen.
The next day, the National Enquirer published a story. It is a story that quoted one source on the record, Roger Stone, Donald Trump's chief political advisor. Let me be clear, this National Enquirer story is garbage. It is complete and utter lies. It is a tabloid smear. And it is a smear that has come from Donald Trump and his henchmen. It is attacking my family. And what is striking is Donald's henchman, Roger Stone, had for months been foreshadowing that this attack was coming.
This was just a remarkable press conference that Senator Ted Cruz just had, very hastily arranged, I should say, from the Cruz campaign, arranged at the last moment. And what was really remarkable is it was very clear that Senator Cruz wanted to address this himself, these tabloid stories. He came out to the podium, and aide placed a small sheet of paper at the podium of some prepared remarks, something I just haven't seen the Cruz campaign do before. And when Senator Cruz transitioned to talking about these tabloid stories and these allegations, he looked down at that piece of paper, clearly wanting to get the language right here when he was connecting Donald Trump to these tabloid allegations. And it was interesting. Going forward, I asked Senator Cruz time after time again, really tried to pin him down on this, if he would, given that he's called Donald Trump a rat, someone that he has now nicknamed Sleazy Donald Trump, if he would definitively say today yes or no whether he would support Donald Trump as a nominee if he becomes a nominee going forward. And Senator Cruz would not definitively say, but he kind of inched closer to basically saying no. He says, I do not make it a habit of supporting people who attack my wife.
Before I get started, I would like to say to Donald Trump, this is what a rally looks like. The number one objective of the Democratic Party in this year is to beat Donald Trump. On the one hand, we have one candidate Sometimes she beats Donald Trump in the polls. Sometimes she gets beat by him or Cruz or Rubio. And then we have another candidate named Bernie Sanders. And every time, in every poll, he beats Cruz, he beats Rubio, and he beats Trump. Now, you can quibble about whether he beat Trump by 6 points or 18 points, as he did recently. But when Bernie Sanders wins this primary, we will be clear that we have a candidate that will beat whatever they send towards us. Mr. Trump, you don't have to divide our country with false fear. No, there is something more powerful than fear and hatred and violence. It is love and unity. For too long, they have tried to split us up every way they can, but we are coming together. Black and white, red and brown, Asian, working people of all colors to say, enough is enough. We want our country back. If the corporations have bought you, we don't want you. And Bernie Sanders is a candidate who cannot be bought. Now let me close on this thought. You know, in the past 8 years, I've gotten used to having an organizer who cut their teeth in Chicago in the White House. And I was up there today in Chicago, meeting with Reverend Jackson and Bernie Sanders, and I was reminded that Bernie Sanders is an organizer who cut his teeth in Chicago. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say, why don't we send one more organizer who cut his teeth in Chicago back to the White House? Now, let me be very clear as an organizer. I would be remiss if I didn't point out to you that this state, this week, that Missouri this week is looking a lot like Michigan last week. When turnout goes up, we win. When you leave here tonight, do not rest until you've knocked on every door you can knock on, until you have made every call you can make. We turn out the vote in Missouri, we will win, and we will be on our way to the White House. Thank you, and God bless.